And welcome to the Ball State Daily Newsroom for another edition of ChirpTV, your weekend preview for Ball State athletics. I'm co-sports editor Kyle Shanner, alongside co-sports editor Vinny Lopes, and our special guest this week, page designer Kyle Ellis, who also does some sports page design for the Daily News. Guys, another big weekend coming up for Ball State sports, especially for the men's volleyball team. Coming off a loss to nationally ranked Stanford last week, things don't get any easier for the Cardinals, heading to Penn State to play the number one ranked Nittany Lions. Vinny, what's the Cardinals' mindset entering such a tough match?
Well, entering this match, they're really excited for the opportunity to play the Nittany Lions. The biggest thing that they're worried about is adjusting to Penn State's quick tempo offense. Now, unlike most of the teams that Ball State plays, Penn State runs a really fast-paced offense where their setters set the balls with not as high of an arch. That means that the play goes a lot quicker, which means the reaction time for your middle attackers and outside attackers isn't as quick. So you have to make quick decisions on the court. So the good thing is, in practice, they've been working on that, working on some blocking techniques. The other thing on the mind of the Cardinals right now has to be the health of all-conference middle attacker Matt McCarthy. I talked to McCarthy on Wednesday. He said that his shoulder injury is still bothering him, and it is possible that he could miss his second match of the season.
All right, Ball State couldn't pull off the upset against Stanford. Can the Cardinals get the upset tonight against number one Penn State?
Well, I'll tell you, it's going to be tough, but they have the possibility to do it. You know, talking to the team, they feel confident going in there. You know, talking to Matt McCarthy, you know, he reminded me that 2 years ago, this was a Ball State team that went into Stanford 2 years ago and was able to knock them off when Penn State was number 6 in the nation. So they definitely feel like they have a chance. They love the underdog role. They loved it last year, especially when they played teams like UCLA. They're looking forward to a chance tonight.
All right, on to women's basketball. The Cardinals enter this weekend with a 4-1 MAC record. That puts them at the top of the MAC West. But, however, they're coming off a loss to Northern Illinois last week. Kyle, how do you think the Cardinals do this week as they try to rebound against Akron?
Well, I'll tell you what, Coach Packard loves to run a high-octane, pretty intense offense, and I think she's going to be looking for some creative ways to create defensive mismatches against Akron. Now, if she's able to do that, I'd look for a high-scoring game. I'd also look for the Cardinals to be digging deep. Fatigue could be a problem against this game. Akron does have a deep bench, but this is a Cardinals team that's played tougher matchups than Akron before. They know how to dig deep, and they have history on their side. Ball State hasn't suffered a loss to Akron since the 1999-2000 season, so I'd expect big things out of the Lady Cardinals.
All right, in that last game, a loss for the Cardinals, the team's leading three-point shooter, Audrey McDonald, was 1 for 10 in that game. Uncharacteristic for her. How do you think she does this weekend?
Well, the thing about Audrey McDonald is she's a competitor, and there's no doubt she wasn't happy with the way she played last game. If Audrey can get hot beyond the arc and the defense leaves her well enough alone, I'd expect a high-scoring game out of the junior guard.
All right. Like the women's basketball team, the men's basketball team enters this weekend atop the MAC West standings. The Cardinals play this weekend, Sunday at 2 p.m. What are your guys' thoughts as the Cardinals play Toledo?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm really excited for this Ball State game, especially after what the defense showed in their win against Western Michigan. Western Michigan is in first place in the MAC West, and they showed that they can really play with any team in that division. MAC East, we still don't know about, but right now this is a team that could win the MAC West division.
I agree with Vinny. Defense is definitely going to be key in this game. If the Cardinals can compensate for the loss of Anthony Newell and find ways to score, I think it's going to be a heck of a defensive effort and a great game overall.
One other team at home this weekend, the Ball State swimming and diving team. The Cardinals are in their final home meet of the season. Men compete at 1 p.m., women compete at 4 p.m. at Llewellyn Aquatic Center. Guys, how do you think the Cardinals do in their final home meet of the season?
Well, you know, I think that the women's team is going to be really motivated, especially after that whole fiasco that happened last weekend with them not being able to go to Illinois State because their buses wouldn't work. So I think that they're going to come out motivated, having that extra rest, and pull off the win.
Now, I think they will be motivated, but the flip side to that is they could be a little bit stale as well. Whatever happens on Saturday, I think it's going to be a great indicator of where both teams lie in the conference, and this is going to be their first meet in competition season, so I'd look forward to seeing an energetic swimming and diving performance from both the men and the women.
All right, guys, that's it for this week's edition of Chirp TV. If you have any questions or comments about Ball State athletics, really anything else you want to know, just email us, sports@bsudailynews.com. You can check out the Ball State Daily News Monday through Friday. Also, we're online, bsudailynews.com. I'm Kyle Shanner alongside Vinny Lopes. Kyle Ellis, have a great weekend, Muncie.